Hello there, boys and girls. It's Mr. G here with another lesson. This time it's a lesson about time. In fact, we're interested in finding out the duration, which means how much time passes between two times. So let's get stuck in. Now, as you can see, this is a word problem. What do we need when we're approaching a word problem? We need the rucksack method. Let's get refreshed on what that means. R is for read, so we're going to read the question. Jason left home at 7 a.m. He arrived at school at 9 a.m. How long did it take him to travel to school? Okay, next step is underline. What do I underline? I underline the key parts of the question. So, what we're interested in are usually numbers. So, we've got 7 a.m. and we've got 9 a.m. And we also want to underline the question, which is how long did it take him? So I'm just going to do how long here. We've read, we've underlined, now we choose. We're going to choose our method. So our method for this problem is to use a line, a bit like a number line, but we're going to call it a timeline because we're dealing with time. So I'm just going to rule a nice timeline here. There we go, just like that. And now I'm going to do step 4, which is to solve this. Okay, so this is how you use a timeline. You're just going to write, you're going to make a little notch at the start and you're going to write down the time that he started his journey. So he started his journey at 7 a.m. Okay, 7 a.m. Sorry about my writing, I'm using a touchpad. And then at the end of his journey, we're just going to make another notch. We'll say it's somewhere down the end here and we'll say 9 a.m. Okay. Now, they're both AM, they're both in the morning. Okay, now all we need to do is count up using jumps, just like we would on a number line. Jumps of 1 hour at a time. Okay, so 7 a.m. plus 1 hour is going to get us to what time? That's correct, 8 a.m. And then we're going to do another jump of an hour, and that will get us to 9 a.m. So you can see in total we've jumped 2 hours. So our answer for this step is 2 hours. And I always like to tell my students to write your answer in words, so I'm going to cheat and type here. So it takes him 2 hours, I can say a number, 2 hours to travel to school. Okay, there you have it. Let's have a look at a slightly trickier question. Okay, so this is question number 2. Let's read it. Tina left home at 6 a.m. Early start for Tina. She arrived at school at 8:23 a.m. How long did it take her to travel to school? Okay, let's underline our key parts here. Like that, that's got a number. I'm taking that. Ugh, sorry about my diagonal line. And I like that too. Oh my gosh, what's going on? Gonna have to sort that out, Mr. G. Okay. How long? Come here, you. How long did it take her? What? Oh well. Now, we are going to choose the which method again? No, not number line, timeline. I'm going to just do the start of the journey over here. Start of the journey is 6 a.m. Nice round number, 6 a.m. on the dot. Ugh, struggling with that. Alright, and arrived at 8:23. So again, just down the end of our timeline, we put 8 semicolon and 23. Okay, now let's use the same method, jumping up 1 hour at a time. So I'm going to jump up 1 hour. That will take me to what time? 6 a.m. 1 hour later is 7 a.m. 6 plus 1 is 7. And now I'm going to do it again. Oops, I forgot to put my 1 here. So 7 a.m. plus 1. My God, it's not easy on this touchpad. 7 a.m. plus 1 is, you guessed it, 8 a.m. And now you'll notice that if we jumped another hour, it's actually going to go past the time that we want. we want to land on this time exactly. So here's where we just do a short jump, and we say, we use our knowledge, we know that this is 23 minutes past 8. So from 8 a.m. to this point must be 23 minutes. 23, and I'll just put an M for minute. Okay, so let's have a look at what we've got in total. We've got 1 hour plus another hour, so that's 2 hours and 23 minutes. So we have solved the problem. So I can write, she took 2 hours and 23 minutes to travel to school. Much faster at typing than writing on this thing. Now, I forgot step 6, check. So let's just check that. Let's just double check. So 6 a.m. plus 1 hour is 7, plus another one is 8. That's definitely right. Plus 23 minutes would be 8:23. So I know I'm right. Okay, you're probably getting the swing of this now, but let's have a look at one more option, one more example. So this one's about Jerry. Jerry left home at 6:45 a.m. He arrived at school at 8:15 a.m. I think that should say. Let's clarify. 8:15 a.m. How long did it take him to travel to school? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's underline that. Yep. 6:45 a.m. is the departure time, and he arrives at 8:15 a.m. How long is what we want to know. So let's underline that. How long did it take him? Okay. Now, number line. This is my method. My timeline, sorry. Whoop, you got me there. Timeline. Okay. Let's do 6:45. Doesn't really matter if it's like on a line or next to a line. Just has to be at the end of our timeline. 6:45. And we're going to finish up at 8:15. 15. Now, this is where you really got to know how a digital time works. Okay, because you can see, well, there's a couple of ways we could approach it actually. But the first way I'm going to show you is just to add 1 hour at a time like we did before. Okay, so 6:45, add 1 hour is what time? It's going to be, the minutes are going to stay the same, and we're going to add 1 to the hour, so it's going to be 7:45. 7:45. Okay, now if we add another hour, your knowledge should tell you that it would be 8:45, which is later than 8:15. So that would mean we're going past 8:15. We don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to jump to the nearest hour. Okay, so how many minutes will it take to get to 8 o'clock? Well, if you're very good at time, you should know that 7:45 is the same as 7:45. A quarter of an hour is 15 minutes. So let's add 15 minutes. 15 min, I'll put an M. And that means 15 minutes after that is 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Okay, and now I'm just going to go, okay, from 8 a.m. to 8:15 is another 15 minutes. Whoops, come here. So, another 15 minutes. And I should really put my plus signs in, but I'm just trying to avoid doing extra writing with this touchpad. Okay, so we've got 15 minutes, and an hour. Let's add it all together now. So 1 hour, and what's 15 plus 15? It is 30. Okay, we've got 2 10s, which is 20, and a 5 and a 5, which is 10. So that's 30. So that's my answer. I'm going to write down Jerry takes 1 hour and 30 minutes to travel to school. Alright, I did say there's a couple of ways you can do it, so let me just quickly show you the other way. Alright, so again we would have our number line. Now some of you might find this easier, so we do the same thing. We put our 6:45, and then we put our 8:15 at the end. I know you've had a spoiler, you already know what the answer is, but bear with me, it's just a different way. Might help some of you to think of it this way. Okay, now you can use your knowledge of bridging to the nearest hour straight away. So you can say 6:45, well, I know that in 15 minutes, 15, it's going to be, come here, it's going to be, what time? Well, 7 o'clock, because 6:45 plus 15 minutes is 7 o'clock. Now we just go up in an hour, okay, in hours. So 7 plus 1 hour is obviously 8 a.m. And then from 8 a.m. to 8:15, very simple as well, 15 minutes. Okay, now it's just a matter of adding the hours together, which is 1 hour, and 15 minutes plus 15 minutes is 30 minutes. So you add the hours, 1, and the minutes, add the minutes together. Minutes equals 15 plus 15, which equals 30 minutes. So you can see that this method also gives us 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay, I hope that is helpful. Good luck with your activities.